Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an old collection tour of mine. I'm going to watch it back with you and just talk through it. So for my people who have been subscribed to me for a long time, going to be a bit of a trip down memory lane is this. So yeah, you should have seen this before in the past if you've been subscribed to me for a long time. But I do have a hell of a lot of new subscribers now. Um, Quite a lot of people I'm conversing with on YouTube and stuff at the minute. It's not from back in there. They're new subscribers to my channel. And when I'm talking to them about my old collection and stuff like that, I feel a bit like, yeah, you've no idea what I used to have, do you? So yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd do a bit of a collection overview from back then. So basically, I'm going to watch my old, I think it was a 1,000 subscriber special or something that I did, where I did like a game room tour, I did myself tour, and then I did the game tour. So we're going to watch it, and you'll be able to see where I was at. I'm not 100% sure whether this was my collection at the height of my collection, or whether it had the major cull or the minor cull. I'll be able to tell you a bit more when we get into it. Looking at, I can see the screenshot here from the start of the video, and looking at this, it looks like it was after I got rid of my variations, but we'll find out when we watch the video. But yeah, I had a hell of a lot of games at one point. So anyway, if you enjoy this, whether you're old or new, we'll see how it goes, and yeah, do another one sometime in the future if I enjoy it. Anyway, let's get on. Let's watch the video. So I'll come down in that corner now. We'll press play. Let's see what it's like.
Right then, let's start with my longest shelving unit. This holds the majority of my Mega Drive games. You can't see it all. It goes about a metre behind the TV, which I'll show you when I get closer. And it goes all the way along there to there.
Yeah, so definitely looking at that. This is from. I've still got a full PAL set looking at this, but this is after my first cull. And by that, I mean I used to have a hell of a lot of variations. So yeah, we'll talk more about that as we get into it.
So they're all PAL Mega Drive games then. It's not the full set. It's about up to halfway through S. So
I thought I meant I don't have a full set then. I was looking at it thinking, I bloody do looking at that. But what I meant is, it's not a full set on this set of shelves. I do have another set of shelves with the remainder of my Mega Drive games on. So yeah.
alphabetical order, obviously, or CD. And along the
Strong.
top, we have some Mega CD games, which again you can't see because they're behind the telly.
You're very
And
right,
some
that setup.
PS1, Dreamcast, DS, and PC Engine. So let's get closer in, have a quick look at them. So I'm really struggling to get a decent shot of my Mega CD games. I don't have that many. At one point, I was going to go for the full set of them, but a lot of them is shite, so I'm not bothering.
Yeah, I still stick by that. I think the only game worth owning a Mega CD for me, well, a couple of the light gun games, I suppose, but the only like normal game would be Terminator. That's brilliant. Really, really good game. Best version of Terminator available is the Mega CD version.
And yeah, down there, lots of Mega Drive games, basically. That's it, it goes behind my TV setup. So it goes about 20 games behind on each shelf. Quite a lot of games really, isn't it? So I'm gonna do a quick video for each of my consoles, showing all my games in detail.
Yeah, this is definitely after the cull. If I can fit my PS1 games on the top of there, it's definitely after the cull, because I had about 400 games, I think, somewhere around that. So yeah, I've sold quite a lot of games off in this.
But for now, we'll just have a quick look at them like this. If they're up on the top, the new buys, so they were in my last pickups video. I haven't had time to squeeze them in yet. But a couple of weeks ago, I had about another 250 PS1 games, and it's now been trimmed to this much. Not a right lot at all.
So yeah, it must have been quite recently after my call was this one then. Although to be fair, my PlayStation 1 and 2 collection were the last ones to get trimmed down. So I trimmed all my Mega Drive and all the big collections first. Although my PS2 collection was massive too.
And it's not going to grow by that much more either, if I'm perfectly honest. I like it how it is. Small, all good games, or games I think will be good. I haven't played all of them 100%, but they all seem to be games that I would like, which was the criteria for me keeping them. If I didn't think they were going to be good, they were gone. And then just past there, again, awkward to get to because the couch is in the way. We have my Dreamcast collection. I'll do another quick video. There's not that many of them.
I never did get around to doing another quick video of any of these. I might have done Game Boy, but none of the others. Dreamcast never did it for me in any format, to be honest with you. I just wasn't bothered for it. I was a PS2 guy. I didn't miss any of them games when I sold
them. I didn't have a massive Dreamcast collection anyway. I've only got rid of about 45, 50 games out of it. I suppose it's still quite a chunk. But it's, like I said earlier, it's not a console that's ever really taken me, isn't the Dreamcast.
Yeah, still same.
I'm a PS2 collector when it comes to that
era.
Moving on. Got the Nintendo DS. As you can see, beggar all. There's a lot more games around the house, but they're all kids' games. Basically, I just picked up what I thought I might play when they were cheap. And then sat on the end here is my newest collection, which is growing quite rapidly. All good games too. PC Engine, obviously.
That collection it's probably the only one that got a good bit bigger. All the rest of them kind of stayed at the same level. PS2, PS3 grew a bit, but PC Engine is the only one that actually grew. And in all honesty, it's the only one that I have a bit of regret selling. So, yeah. Buy them all back, no issues, but they were a lot cheaper back then. I still haven't got a PC Engine back in my setup either. And mainly because I've not been like on a rush to play shooter games. So if I were mad into shoot 'em ups again, because I go through phases, I'm into races at the minute. If I'm mad into shooters again, then I'd be getting my PC Engine sooner rather than later.
I don't have that many at the minute. 8 games boxed and a couple of card-only games. But I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way it's going. So again, there'll be a link here when I get round to it. I'll do a proper collection video and you can see that. Just a quick overview of this. But I'm happy with these. These sets are exactly what I want them to be. Good games. Spot on.
To be honest, looking at that PS1 set there, I know it's quite hard to make them out, but if you're into game collecting, you'd have probably made out what most of those games were. I probably still would own most of them. You know, there's no there that I looked at and thought, wow, what a load of crap. I probably would still own most of them.
Right, drop down to the Mega Drive. Do I really need to show you this lot, do you think? I don't know. At the end of the day, if it's PAL and it's a Mega Drive game, I've got...
Yeah, definitely after my cull. I've still got a full set looking at that. But just right there you can see. So Bonkers, not Bonkers, Boogerman. When I had my full set, I had 3 versions of that. Well, not my full set, all my Mega Drive games. I had the Australian Silver cartridge release, I had the PAL release, and I had the Genesis release. And back then I had all my Genesis games in with my PAL games as well. So B were at about the end of the first shelf, to be honest with you. Brian Lava Cricket, I think I had 4 different variations of that as well. Never even played it, but there were different box variations, version 1.1, version 1.2, different stickers, different box text. I had everything. I was mental for stuff like that, I really was. Anyway, yeah, definitely a full PAL set though.
Right, that's all you need to know, really. So, quite a lot of games. I also have a lot of non-PAL games too. I say a lot. A fair few. So, you know, just a quick overview of them. And again, it goes right back there behind the telly. At the minute, the TV unit is away from the wall for the simple reason that I was still getting it wired up. I've still got stuff to do in there. at the minute my recording setup isn't exactly what I want it to be. Of course, I've still got wires dangling with that, and I don't.
See, I look at that shot there, just as it were coming in, and yeah, don't get me wrong, there's some awesome games on the bottom shelf. So you got all the Streets of Rage games, Street Fighter games, Strider. But just before that came in, up at the top, it was all the NBA, NHL, NFL. And I just think, man, what a load of shite. If I'd have got rid of all that crap, I may even have still kept some of my Mega Drive games, you know. If I got rid of them on the first call rather than hanging on to the full sets, I may have kept some of them and just boxed them up. Who knows? So, yeah, so many bad games in that set. I know there's a hell of a lot of good games in there, some amazing games, but there were so many bad games on there too. Well, not particularly bad, but games I wasn't interested in. And I think overall that is what led me to selling my full sets. Because I was just looking at my shelves and all I could see was the games I didn't want to play. So I'd go to pick a game to play and I couldn't spot Streets of Rage, Street Fighter, Strider. All I saw was NHL, NBA, FIFA. It just leapt out at me, and it was just like ugh, in my face, glaring at me, and it just got my tits. So yeah, eventually that is what led to me selling them.
Like wires dangling. So I've not finalised it yet. When I do, obviously I'll be against the wall. But I don't plan on staying in this house too much longer, so is there any point? I don't know.
Didn't I sold the house in about
There we have it anyway.
I don't know, a year.
You've seen an overview of the shelves. I
Love them wonky
do a
shelves.
better collection video of
They're
my
quite
Mega
famous
Drive
back in the
stuff. I
day.
need to. And the other
I
stuff.
should have put an extra
So,
bracket in there.
Look out for them coming soon. Maybe this week. I've got a bit of time. Let's go on to the next set of shelves. So here's my next set of shelves.
Yeah, that was always my favourite
A
set.
couple of the set of shelves you're all mostly familiar with, because this is the one that's in the background behind my couch when I'm playing. So you should have seen this before.
So yeah, I mean, looking at that there, positive, a bit of a dodgy time, but it looks like I've only got like a handful of Genesis games in there. So I think I must have got rid of all my Genesis games and only kept the ones that interested me. Because at one point I had like Genesis RPGs, I had Beauty and the Beast, you name it. If it were a Genesis exclusive, I had it, and I had the Genesis versions of most of the PAL games. It doesn't look like I've hardly got any there at all. But there's some damn nice items on this shelf. In today's money, there's probably over 10 grand's worth of items on that shelf.
Been a new little addition there. No special. Basically, that was in the spare bedroom downstairs, and we needed that to put a cot in it. So it had to come up here.
Lexi must have just been
Mainly Mega Drive.
a baby now then.
And
12
got
now,
my Saturn
nearly.
games in there. And my PS2 games. Or some of my PS2 games, should I say. So let's go in and have a closer look. Right, then we'll start with the top shelf.
Put porn on this
Basically,
top shelf.
special editions and shit like that up here. Big box stuff that I don't have room for anywhere else. So the first one, got my Time Crisis with G-Con 45. That is brand new. It's absolutely spotless mint. When I got it, it was sealed brand new. Didn't pay a right lot for it though. I got it from a car boot, sealed brand new actually. I think I paid £2 for it. Now it's been played, obviously, because I like gun games. Next to that, we have the Saturn gun with Virtua Cop. I haven't used the Saturn gun that much, to be honest.
So both of them I got them brand new from car boot sales. Like I say, really cheap. Absolute pain. So I paid for games back in them days.
Mainly because I was using the G-Con. I do like the G-Con a lot. But it does feel quite good. And again, that was brand new and sealed from a car boot too. And I think I paid about £2 for that. It's now not, obviously. I opened them. But yeah, nice little thing that. Next up, we have my Echo the Dolphin. Just zoom out a bit. Limited edition box set for the Mega Drive. Really hard to find item. Pretty much in mint condition.
I don't know what the rarities like of these things nowadays. I'd imagine they're even rarer. But yeah, it took me a while to track the Lucky Dime Caper set and the Echo the Dolphin set down back in the day. Really did.
It's just for the t-shirts being opened. Other than that, absolutely spotless. And the same with my Lucky Dime Caper gift set for the Master System. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll move these out of the way. I'll have a look at them after. Really nice part of a collection is that. I love that thing.
I did really like that sort of stuff. I'd spend months and months tracking this sort of thing down, like the collector's editions and stuff like that. I absolutely adored them.
Again, it looks a little bit worn. Nothing major. But I love it. Love it nonetheless. So, yeah, I'll keep that up there. That was made by Al Mew, 2011.
AKA Irish Nerd Life. Shows you how much I treasured stuff that people made for me as well. That would up on my treasure shelf for that.
And it's just cool. It's a nice little poster, SMS Quest poster. And I just really like it, so I keep it up there with all my other cool items. Next one we've got is the Moonwalker gift set. Only 2 of these known of, I believe. Could be more now. But again, a nice collector's item. Doesn't sit upright nice though. It's a pain in the bloody arse actually. Falls over all the...
I used to get really stressed out with that thing. 'Cause it would always falling over and yeah, it would pain in the ass. I think I sold that to James, I believe. So King Rupert, main Master System collector back then. I think he still is one of the big Master System collectors. I don't think he ever sold up. Yeah, I think I sold that to him.
Time. Well, it don't because I prop it, but it gets right on my tits. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it did. Really did.
And then we have the Megalomania 12-inch record. It's a promo item. As you can see on the back there. Promo copy.
Yeah, I loved all that sort of stuff. I used to spend literally weeks and weeks tracking down certain versions of games that came with promo items, or if I'd ever seen hints of a promo item in a magazine, I'd just track it and track it and track it until I found it. I went mental for it. I remember spending months and months searching for a version of Shaq Fu that came with the CD. And eventually I found one and I was like, yes, over the moon. Crap game, crap CD, but yeah, absolutely went mental looking for that.
Not for resale. I also have the CD of that as well, which is loitering around up here somewhere. But it'll all fall over if I got to get it out. So, moving on, we have...
It's interesting. So I don't remember selling the other bits, but the Batman Returns, that one, I can't remember. Whichever version of Batman that is, the Woolworths edition. I also had the 3 Australian box sets as well. So there's Primal Rage with a cap. There was a Batman Forever in it, that one. Batman Forever one. I don't remember what the other one was. But I had all 3 of them as well. They were all big box collector's editions. And they used to be on that shelf. So yeah, I must have sold them off in my big cull as well. Unless they're further on in the room.
My Batman Forever box set. Again, really rare item.
They're cool, actually. I had a file of facts in it.
Somewhere on my channel. If you haven't seen it, just have a look back. I'll put a link to it, maybe. I don't know. Lovely item, and I got it for peanuts.
Yeah, 20 quid.
It makes it so much nicer when you get it cheap. Then we've got my Lethal Enforcers sets.
I always love my guns.
Mega Drive and Mega CD.
I always love them.
My Hulk Bulk, which is probably the rarest item in my collection.
That was super rare. I don't think I ever saw another Hulk Bulk. Again, I saw it advertised in a magazine, and I spent months and months tracking down all the different components. I eventually got the comic sealed from a comic store, and it would only, released as that version in the Hulk Bulk. I got it from a comic store on eBay, and when I got it, it had all the collector's cards inside it, so it was the full Hulk Bulk. Such a hard item to find, but yeah, spent months tracking that down.
Promo gift with the Incredible Hulk game. Got a couple of CDs there. Got Megalomania. And we've got a Psycho Nation, which came with Psycho Pinball.
No little items there.
Both nice little items. And then we have another Master System gift set. That was only sold in France through a French catalogue. Quite a bugger to get hold of actually now. And lovely little item. And last but not least, got a pack of Call of Duty cards up there. I do like Call of Duty. I think it's a great little game. So yeah, nice little item to have. Right then, on to the next shelf. Zoom out a touch. All Mega Drive games. Couple of nice little items in there. We've got World Championship Soccer 2 blue box.
One of the hardest
Rare
games
as
to
hell.
find on the Mega Drive.
And these
the
two,
blue box version.
great little items. I was so happy to get Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego complete with the watch. Took me ages
another
to
one
find
that's
that
really hard
watch.
to find with the watch.
So yeah, nice little items there. You can't see all the way to the end because the new shelf blocks a couple of games in. Only one or two, not special. And move down onto the next shelf. And more Mega Drive.
Not these here.
Telstar double packs.
These were amazing. I
Again,
love them.
really rare, hard to find. Some Oz double packs.
Again, really hard to find.
They're a bugger to get. Then we've got some reproduction games. None of these are true releases. They were all made by a friend of mine. Play Generation. Absolutely cracking, actually. I'll give you a quick look at one of them.
He did make some good stuff back in the day. Did
It came from the desert.
Is he still about on the Sega forums? Play Gen.
It came from the desert. As you can see, absolutely brilliant artwork on it. It's an EA game, so he's done it on an EA cartridge. Made all this artwork himself. Looks absolutely spanking. Then inside you get the proper EA cartridge if it's an EA game. All the other ones, if they're from somewhere else, they're for something else. Get an instruction manual. And a nice little EA game brochure. So yeah,
he went a bit above and beyond did Play Gen when he made stuff.
So all my repros are like that. And I'm really happy with them actually. They're a nice part of my collection. So what have I got? It came from the desert, Jelly Boy, King Colossus, Res Q. That is excellent. Really good game, Res Q. And Wacky Races. And then on to some Genesis games. Nothing particularly special in there.
Looks like I just kept
some good games.
Exclusives.
That's a Brazilian release, Tech Toy release. Wacky Worlds, Creativity Studio. It's got the Tech Toy mouse and Sega mouse mat and shit all included in there. Then we've got a few Korean releases. I used to have quite a lot of Korean games, but I didn't keep most of them.
Yeah, at one point I was going mental for Korean stuff. So I had like loads of Samsung Mega Drives. And I just had stacks and stacks of Korean games. Me and a lad off of Sega 8-bit, German lad, we went absolutely out of his way to find people who could buy stuff for us from every region of the world. So, you know, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Portugal for the Portuguese purples, Japan, because this is the proxy sellers like Yahoo and stuff like that, the people who buy games for you, they were just about starting to come into business at this time. But if you were going anywhere else, you'd no chance. So Korean eBay, no chance. You couldn't get a proxy seller. So we were tracking down people who would send us, buy the games for us and send them to us. And we paid them basically the exact same amount of what we'd bought it for. So we'd buy a Korean Mega Drive with like 10 games. And same with Master Systems and Game Boys. You know, whatever we were buying. And they were literally costing us like 12 quid. And you could sell them over here for like 200 quid. So we were giving them 12 quid. They were over the moon because we were doubling whatever it was. So they were getting to keep 12 quid. They were over the moon. It must have been a lot of money to them. I don't know. But yeah, we made some money out of that, I'll tell you. And got a lot of cool games out of it as well.
All I've kept is The Kickboxing, I believe this one's called. I can't remember now. Yeah, The Kickboxing.
Game,
and Superboy 4. Just like a Mario hack. Quite good fun, actually. And then a couple of Japanese games on the end there. And then down to the next shelf, we have more Japanese games. Mainly shooters, actually, that lot.
Yeah, I did keep a lot of my shooters.
There. Some of my favourite games on the system are there. But we'll go through them in another video. I'll show you my Mega Drive collection properly in another video. Then we go on to my Saturn collection. Again, recently trimmed down.
I'm actually surprised I kept so many Saturn games. I can count on one hand the Saturn games that I probably would play again, in all honesty. I'd rather play PS1 versions of stuff.
Took quite a lot of games out of that. just kept games I think I am going to play. A couple of 32X games in there. Mortal Kombat, Cosmic Carnage, and behind that we have Road Rash.
To be honest, I was never that big into the 32X. At one point, I owned all 32X games. I owned the big three, T-Mech, Darkseid and Primal Rage. I had them all brand new mint in box, sealed, and I unsealed all of them to play them. So, yeah, God knows how much they'd sell for nowadays, but yeah. I mean, back then, I think I sold, what it, T-Mech and Primal Rage, I sold for 1,500 quid, I think it was. And Darkseid, I think I sold that for about 800. That was way, way back before even this video, probably about 5 years before this. So yeah, I never really got on with 32X.
For some reason. Bear that way because I put a plug socket there before I built this setup. Quite a daft place to put a plug socket, but yeah, live and learn. So that's it. I ain't got a lot of sign games. I used to have a load, but like I say, I've got rid of them all. If I'm not going to play them, there's no point keeping them, is there? Then we got on to my PS2 collection.
There's some quality games in that lot. I think PS2 is probably one of my all-time favourite consoles.
Which is probably about half the size it was a few weeks back. Got rid of quite a lot of PS2 games. It really did get struck by the big cull. The worst of all of them, I'd say.
Yeah, this was a time when PS2 games were like 50 pence each everywhere you went, and anything I didn't have, I bought. So I had boxes and boxes and boxes full of PS2 games, to be honest with you. I had these big brown boxes that held about 160 games, and at one point, not including like the stuff I had out on my shelves, I had 8 boxes full of like PS1 and PS2 games. So I had a hell of a lot.
Again, I'll probably do a better video of this. It's just a quick look at it. All games I think I'm going to play now, though. So I'll give you a quick look at this shelf. Newest shelf.
No, we won't. We won't
Not
bother with
really.
that. Tell you what, we'll skip past that because that's just DVDs on there. So I'll skip past that. We'll go to the next shelf. Somewhere down there.
So no point having them, in my opinion. But I'm the
Life's
same with
Charmed
games,
collection.
so I'll shut up about
She
that.
got obsessed with it.
Right then, let's move on to the next shelf then. Right then, last set of shelves now.
Nice.
I'm honest, it's a bit of a nightmare to film is this. It's a bit dark and dingy is this corner. We've got PS2 and stuff over there. I'll show you, I'll come in and we'll get closer. And we've got my Master System collection basically. And on top, Nintendo stuff, Nintendo carts and PSP.
I used to love the
and round the
PSP.
corner, which you can't see, is all my boxes for all my consoles and stuff. So let's get in there.
Yeah, that is massively trimmed down, is that? I don't think there's a Kicks release or a Classics release, anything. I used to have pretty much every single variation when it came to Master System. I had even the really rare Mahjong from Hong Kong. I had both versions of that. I had Mahjong and Mahjong. Super fucking rare game, and I had them both. But I had every Kicks, every Classics, every Australian Silver Cart release. I had everything. Absolutely everything. So that is well trimmed down, is that one.
And have a bit of a closer look. Right then, starting at the top, because that's a good place to start. We have my GameCube collection. Not very big, as you can see. And we have my Xbox collection, which is growing. It is growing quite rapidly, actually. Some good games in there.
Something I never really got into either of those consoles. Tried my best with GameCube. So when a game came out that were on all three, I used to buy the GameCube version and force myself to use my GameCube. But inevitably I'd end up buying the PS2 version. So Xbox, I don't know. Just never really got into it. I'm going to try again though, 'cause there's some amazing games on there. And I really would like to. Well, I don't think I'm just tied to one set of consoles nowadays. I'm happy to play anything as long as it's a good game. So I might give it another shot at some point.
All good games in there, should I say. I'm not buying shit games for it. I'm not buying shit games for anything anymore. And then underneath there we have the rest of my PS2 collection.
In that lot.
So a fair few more games in there, to be honest. And again, some really good stuff. Right, so here's the bottom shelf. Still can't see it all. Mainly PS3.
I think it's a trimmed down
again,
version as well.
All good games. There might be the odd one in there that's a munter. But all of them have been bought with their strict intention.
Imagine I've got more PS3 games than that. I used to keep quite a stack downstairs as well. This were like stuff that were either beaten that I wanted to keep or stuff that I bought to play in the future. But I used to keep a massive stack downstairs to play as well.
To play. I haven't bought all just for collection purposes. So hopefully she'll be alright. And if not, tough shit. It's not why I bought them. So if they're crap, they'll be going. And then on the end, we have my very small Wii collection.
I used to have my GX4000 collection down there, so I must have sold off all my GX4000 stuff. I think I had about 12 boxed games for that at one point. Really hard to find. And I noticed my Sega Pico collection wasn't in there either, or my Game Gear collection, so I must have sold all of them off by that point. I had a full set for the Sega Pico. There's not many people can say they've had that. After Sega bonkers back then.
Which consists of 4 games.
Well, good games though.
My daughter's got a shitload more games than that, but that's all I've got. I don't really consider it a grown-up's console,
Still
but
don't.
that's just me. Don't have a go, that's how I am. Next set then. Right then, up here we've got the remainder of my 32X collection. So 6 games in total. I doubt I'll be getting many more than that. And we have NES. Not a right lot.
Most of them still.
I'll be expanding it, but not by a
I want that one on the end.
Imagined.
That is a pain to find box
Not
complete.
that many games I actually want for the NES. But the ones I do want seem to be quite hard to get hold of. Sod's law. There's my SNES games.
Do you know, I've never been into SNES. Never been able to get mad into it like any of the other consoles. So like back in the day, we had a Mega Drive. I had a Mega Drive. My brother had a SNES. So I did play it. I played a lot of Street Fighter, a lot of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Never really played Mario. He didn't have Mario. But yeah, just couldn't never really get into it compared to the Mega Drive. I always preferred like the dinginess, and it just feels more atmospheric as a Mega Drive, whereas the SNES were always like bright and in your face. Just always preferred Mega Drive.
Don't know what they all are. Blazing Skies, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Dennis. That's probably going. I wasn't like keen on that. Prehistoric Man.
Yeah, I went, didn't I?
Toys. Wasn't like keen on that either. Chuck Rock. Punch Out. And a few others. Shooters mainly. And my N64 collection. Very small. I do have a few boxed games, which are down below at the end of my Master System collection, so we'll get to them. Right then, PSP. Actually really like the PSP.
I've never been big into the N64 when it comes to collecting. And still to this day, I know I've got a little selection of games, but I bet my collection's never going to go above like 25 games for the N64. I think there's 20 I want for definite, and then there's 5 I wouldn't mind trying. And maybe a few others I might pick up and give a shot, but I'm never going to pick a lot of games up for the N64. I think it's got a hell of a lot of shite on there, but it's also got some of the best games ever released on there as well. So it does balance it out a bit, I think. Anyway, on with this.
If the camera's getting a bit shaky, it's a bit dodgy filming here, so you'll have to bear with me. Again, all these games were bought to play, and I have completed 100% a lot of these. So yeah, probably my most played collection because of the size of it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved the PSP back then. And as I just mentioned, I've beaten pretty much every one of them, like 100%. Played it to death.
Well, no, I suppose PC Engine would take that. But yeah, I play them a lot. I do like the PSP. I think it's a brilliant little handheld. I haven't played that yet, R-Type Command, but I've been told it's not a shooter. It's just got the R-Type name, so not very happy about that. That's it for games. We're going to UMDs then. Again, lots of stuff like vampires, Zombies, and Goonies. Can't resist a bit of Goonies.
Yeah, no changes there. It's still, I've got all them on Blu-ray now. So there you go.
But yeah, mainly vampires and zombies. I'm predictable. I like vampires and zombies. So, on to the Master System collection then. And again, there's not a right lot to say about it. It's a full set.
So it looks like I've still got my exclusives there as well. So I have got rid of all the variations I can see straight away there. But there's 4-pack all action right at the very beginning, which is an Oz exclusive. So yeah, I've probably still got all my American and my Tech Toy games and stuff like that in there.
Full PAL set with a few extras. You can't see all of them. It's a horrible area to film in, is this? Wait a minute. Dark and dingy and miserable. Don't like that corner of the room. I think that's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. So there we go. Full set. No variations. Used to have variations. You can just see the back of the shelf actually there, can't you? But then you get a bit further down and the boxes start getting in the way. But yeah, basically, if it's a Master System game and it was PAL, I have it. My first full set, actually. Just down there, a few.
My second full set, technically. Pokemon Mini were my first full set. Yeah, all 4 games.
Non-PAL games. Got some American games there, starting with Alf. Oh no, starting with Astro Warrior, actually. Brilliant shooter, one of my favourite games. Then a few Tech Toy games. Not too many, there's not a right lot I want. Then we've got Mahjong. Sold my other version of it. I used to have both copies of it. And then we've got some more repros. Digger-chan, that's a homebrew game. I've shown you the bead sprite earlier under my telly. And then all the rest are unreleased games or Game Gear parts. And then we have my N64 box collection. Not a right lot, but they were all mine from back in the day. That's the only reason I've got them boxed.
Yeah, I used to just collect cat only for N64, but they were my original games then. That were my original GoldenEye with the save that had everything opened up on it, that platinum version there.
From now, I won't be buying any more boxed N64 games. So
Changed,
that bit of shelf
obviously.
there is empty and spare. So that's 2 bits of shelves I've got. One there and one there. God, I can fit at least another 40 games in there. And then finally, we have zoom out.
Wow, that is
Wall of boxes.
well trimmed down, is that?
To be honest, I was actually thinking of getting rid of quite a lot of these boxes.
So today, I don't get consoles boxed. Don't care for the boxes. They're just big, clumsy, get in the way. So I can just open my PS5. Box isn't bin. Straight away, get rid. Don't care, not interested. But looking at this here, that is barely any consoles. I didn't realise I'd culled them down that badly at that point. So, I had at one point, I don't know, 30 odd different Mega Drive box variations. And I mean, like, my box variations, I mean, they all had different slip covers. So I had tons and tons of them. And same for Master System. I must have had 8 or 9, maybe 10 Master System variations, the ones with slip covers on, you know, the really hard to find ones. So yeah, looking at that, that is drastically trimmed down, is that? I do remember making a hell of a lot of money when I sold all them variants on those. Some of them consoles I sold for like 300-400 quid. So yeah, big money.
But the collector in me stopped it. He said, "No, don't do it, you idiots."
Them foot
But they've empty
pedals there,
boxes.
cool.
All my consoles.
See them foot pedals there? You could hook them up to the Master System with the handle controller, and if you had the 3D glasses, you could play Outrun 3D with a full driving setup on the Master System. That were cool as fuck. Yeah, it's the only game I ever played with the foot pedals. I tried a few others and it wasn't that good, but playing Outrun 3D with the full setup, it just felt amazing. It really did. It was proper cool with that.
Consoles are out, being played, apart from, where is it? Mega Drive 2, there-ish. Chung. Apart from that, everything is out on that Mega Drive there, sorry. Do you know, when I culled all my Mega Drives, I could not resist keeping one of each. So I've got the very first Mega Drive, ever released in the UK. Well, not the first one, but the first box. I've got over there my original.
Yeah, that was my original Mega Drive, that. But I'm pretty sure you could get a Streets of Rage sleep cover, and it was super rare to find. I bet you no chance of finding one nowadays. But it took me months and months to track down, and I took the slip cover off of one of the other Mega Drives that I bought it with, and I put it on my original one. So yeah, I got big money for that at all when I sold it.
But that's got a different slip cover on it because I really like the slip cover.
Go.
And then we've got a Mega Drive 2. I had to keep one of each. And same with a Master System. I've got a Master System 2 and a Master System Super Set down there. I couldn't resist. But other than that, I got rid of everything. There's my other 10 socket
handle controller.
Adapter. Not full, that one. And that is it. That is my entire room.
Wow, look young there, young and fat. Don't look like I'm going to show you the Game Boy collection, but just on that shelf there were some binders, and I had, I think, 4 binders around that time full of Game Boy games. Love my Game Boy. It was all cartridge only, and honestly, I played it to death. Absolutely played it to death. I might cover that in the Celp video. We'll see what I feel. I might do another tour of the Celp video. I might do another video like this with a Celp.
Fucking hell, I'm knackered now. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I didn't. I see it every day. I don't need to go around bobbing all over the place, trying to get camera in awkward places.
Man, I look old. Anyway, I mean now I look old. Anyway, that's it, man. That's the end of that. So it's just chuntering shit now. So that's my 1,000 subscriber special part 2, I believe. Yeah, a long time ago. I nearly deleted all my videos off my channel and just kept I've got some private ones of my kids and that, what I uploaded for family. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't delete stuff like this. I've got quite a lot of private settings, this sort of video. And yeah, cool to watch back. First time I've watched that back since, God knows, must be at least 10 years since I watched that back. And yeah, quite a bit of nostalgia in there watching that. It really is, looking back at the collection and stuff. But I must admit, I don't miss it. I do not miss it at all. Obviously, I look back now and I think, fucking hell, I want to pay for that game now. And I'm going to be paying 100 quid for it if I'd have only kept it. But at the time, if I'd have kept it, I'd have kept them all. And it'd have still killed my love of gaming, it really would. Because when I had all them games that I wasn't enjoying, I could never find a game to play. And I just ended up, I will explain it. Like when you put Netflix on and you spend hours scrolling through, and then you put something on, you find out it's in bloody German or something, and you just go, oh, fuck it, and you just get fed up and don't watch on. That's what I like with gaming. I'd go upstairs, find games, and think, yeah, I spend hours looking, I'd pick something, and it wasn't amazing instantly. I'd go, oh, fuck this, I don't want to play anymore. Whereas now, I'll go into my cupboard, I pretty much grab a game, and yeah, I'm there all night. And it don't matter what I grab. They're all good games. So it's exactly what I want nowadays. Yeah, obviously there's the odd game in there that I still would like to own. It is now, God knows, fucking 6 times more expensive. But that's just something I'm going to deal with, innit? That, if I, like I just said, if I'd have kept some of them, then I'd have ended up keeping loads, wouldn't I? And I'd have been in the same situation. So yeah, I don't regret it. Like the special editions and all that as well. They all went to collector friends of mine. I sold them for pretty good money, but not ridiculous money. I let them go cheap to collector friends of mine, and they're all still in their collections. So there you go. Yeah, don't regret it at all. But yeah, it's nice to look back and see where I was at. It's surprising how small my Mega Drive collection is, actually. Because my Mega Drive collection was way, way bigger than that. I might see if I've got another video with my Mega Drive collection when it's at its prime. Because I don't think I had a full set when it was at its prime. I think I was 2 or 3 games shy. One of them being Lakers versus Celtics. But the amount of variations I had, it was insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. Anyways, enjoyed watching that by myself. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, and I might do another one. Leave some comments below. So, yeah, that's what I do YouTube for. It's the most important part of it for me. So, leave some comments below. Let's chat, all that shit. And that's it, man. I'm off now. So, yeah, I'll see you soon with another video. I don't know when this one's going to come out in the timeline of all the other videos I've been shooting recently, because I've got so many to edit now. So it'll be as and when. Anyway, I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!